Hey, what's up, everybody? I am trying to get the chat so it doesn't look so chat pop up so it doesn't look so tiny. I changed everything. Um, Let me know if you guys are having the option to see this in 4K because that was what I was trying today, and that's why the chat pop up is looking so small. So, because I didn't fix that. Yeah. Oh, I don't know how to. Not that I didn't. I tried. Yeah, it works. It's just not right. Let's see if I can make it a little bigger. Yeah. All right. Whatever. It's not. It's like changing the size of the box, but not the actual chat. Don't know why. Anyways. So yeah. Oh, Places Lost. What's up? You said you see the 4K option. So yeah, I've been trying to figure that out since I realized you can do that on YouTube, and yeah, did it at the last minute right before I started streaming, which is why the countdown was short. Now this camera won't focus for some reason, but whatever. Never had a problem with this camera focusing, so who knows? Yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, if you don't see the option, Rick, and other people do, that's just your end then. So your connection. Oh, I'm glad the option is there, and mainly because then on replay it'll be in 4K. I just always hated how the quality looked if you watched it after the fact, you know. So awesome. Let's see who all do we got in here because I was struggling to get set up till the very end. So Robin Real Life, Madison Deans, what's up? Bubbers and Large Marge, Patty Redbeard, and Rick, who I was just talking to. So Christopher Webb, Jay Dandy, Blackball, Eddie, Cycling Brian, what's up? Matt Ford. Rick asked if there was supposed to be a winter opening sequence, and yeah, now it's way too late for that. Not going to go to winter this late in the winter. Try and stay ahead of it next year, but yeah, that's how it goes. Whoops, still not really, still getting that focus pulsating. It's, I don't know, tried two different lenses and whatever. What's up, Raymond? Places Lost, who I mentioned. So, Carl. Oh, Patty said you see the 4K option, though your monitor is not 4K. Yeah. The funny thing is with YouTube, though, like when I started uploading regular videos in 4K, whether you watched them on something that could do 4K or not, they looked way better. And I think it was just because the bit rates and everything that are like when you just switch to 4K, the standard output is just so much higher from Premiere, and then I think they just increase all the allowances for that on YouTube as well. So, JMZ, what's up? Bring out Edmund. Oh yeah, he's right over here. Hey Edmund, come here. Edmund's been pretty hanging out pretty tight. This is the farthest he's been from me, I think, since I got home on yesterday morning. Oh, there he's meowing. He's just dumped on
Hey,
Dave's
what's
computer.
up? Oh, dude, he's got a big swatch of white paint on him.
Oh, I saw that. Oh, the GoPro's frozen. Look at this. It looks like you're like dabbing your nose like over and over again.
Oh, that's from a while ago.
Yeah. We haven't had problems with the GoPro lately. It's always something new, you know? Oh, come on. Can't see anything looking into this light. Yeah, see if I can bring it back. Get out of here. James has got sore legs. I do too, but it's because I walked a lot this weekend. I think I realized I'm not used to walking, anyways. Hey, what's up, Donald from down in Cincy? It's always green in Akron. Yeah. When am I getting a sidecar trailer for Edmund? I do have a pet trailer. Someone gave it to me, and I always wanted to use it as a. Me and Large have talked about doing a trip just like an overnighter, like bike packing or, you know, just throwing everything in the trailer. But I just haven't done it yet. Got to get tubes for the tires and stuff like that. So. Rick, you said you're on an iPad routing to Apple TV. Huh. I don't know. Yeah. Never used Apple TV. Let's see if the GoPro works now. Oh, yeah. It's too dark to really see a black cat on a black shirt on a black table with a black MacBook, but he's there. Don't touch your face now, Dave.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, I gotta resize this too. There we go. Cool. Everything else is good. Yeah. Madison, Boston was good. I actually hit a ton of breweries, but I didn't. A lot of places where we stopped and just had one to try it. Even though I'm the only one out of my friends who likes craft beer over there, now that every place has like seltzers and most breweries make light beers, it was easy to bounce around with some people. But I went outside one bike shop and then I just did not have the time. But it was a non-profit bike shop and they had a bunch of cool vintage frames even chained up sitting outside that maybe were in the line to be restored, called Bikes Not Bombs. I think they actually take the profits and build bikes for like underserved communities here and overseas. I read the website while I was sitting there having a coffee, but it was like day 2 and I can't remember, but it's something I want to look into. I took a couple pictures, which I'll post as well. Road Apple Roubaix is coming up. Yeah, David. Yeah, like I didn't ride it all last week. I mean, I rode Monday before I left, and now I've ridden Monday and Tuesday since I've been back. So Road Apple, I usually try and like ride it really fast. This year, I don't think I'll have the same kind of shape I usually do. Road Apple's kind of my motivation to stay in shape, like, you know, through the middle and late winter. Edmund needs a tethered dirigible. Yeah. David was out doing hill repeats yesterday, so I hear purring. I think that is. Do you hear Edmund purring really through that mic?
He is.
Yeah, he is purring. Dave was also painting today, and Edmund clearly ran along the side of the wall he was painting because Edmund's got a white stripe down the side of him now. Christopher Webb said, I picked up an Ollie cat months ago, and he's already coming when I call him. He said, you've had a cat for 12 years, and she'll only come to you if you have food. Yeah, Edmund follows me around pretty closely, whether I call him or not, so... What makes you think I don't have Lightroom? I use the program that does the exact same thing with the exact same panels built on the exact same code. Lightroom just has a different skin than Camera Raw. So. Hey, what's up, dude? Yeah, the trip was great. Like I said, I ended up doing a bunch of walking, especially the last 2 days when we were kind of done working. They still wanted the company I was working for, seafood company, they still wanted some footage of Boston. And so basically I walked around with my friend and took a lot of photos. So the last day I was thinking of riding, I couldn't find a bike shop that was open to rent bikes on Sunday. I was thinking of just riding a city bike around and getting the footage. Because my friend is a big NASCAR fan, but they moved the Daytona 500 because of rain in Florida to Monday. So he was available, and we're good friends who, since he lives in Boston, don't get to see each other too much. So I'm not going to be like, I'm going to go ride bikes. See you later, you know. So it's totally fine. Edmund LePew. That's exactly what I said. It's going to turn into a Pepe Le Pew cartoon. Oh man, he is just loving it.
Dude, you see me getting the boogers out of his eye?
Mm-hmm.
He's just like falling asleep.
Yep. Jay Danny said you'll briskly party pace at Road Apple. Yeah, I think I'm still gonna give it a go to try and ride hard, but yeah, just I don't think it'll be like years before. So. Cycling Brian didn't do hill repeats, but had a gnarly headwind. Today actually was like not too bad. I only rode 15 miles today, and not so seriously, but. Hog Dog, you said you want a hardtail? I want a hardtail, and you're mad at yourself for wanting one. Gotcha. Yeah. Cold World, you need a cheap, light, single speed you can be hard on. Well, I think you have to go like what they say with two of the three if that's what you want. I feel like if you get something real cheap that you can be hard on, it's not going to be light. So. I don't know. Look at some of the Affinity frames. Aren't that expensive? And they're cool. Oh, here he comes. Oh my god. Did he just get up?
Yeah.
Oh my god. There he is. Oh, don't unplug all my cables. He climbed up my leg in the most goofy way possible. Yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely not the biggest single speed expert. Most of what I know is from watching Terry B answer these questions on his live streams. But can't say hard on before 10 o'clock. Yeah, I plan on partying after Road Apple. For those of you who aren't from around here, Road Apple is kind of like the first event of the season in this area. They don't build as a gravel event. There are some gravel roads. A lot of the roads have gotten like paved, even if it's just with chip and seal. So it's almost more of a country road ride. But if the weather's bad, you hit a crushed limestone gravelly trail at the end. And if it's been wet or snowy, you're going to wish you had a gravel bike. It'll negate the whole time when you could have been on a road bike. You're out on the old neutrino. Nice. Is Pudgy around? I'm going to say I don't think so. I think he really was mad that I didn't agree with him on whether you should clean new chains, which I just think is weird. I didn't think I was being rude about it or mean about it. I asked his opinion and said, yeah, I'm still not going to do that. And then someone emailed, who was it? Someone emailed KMC and they said, don't strip it off either. So, I don't know. No mechanic's ever told me to strip new grease off a chain. Do you do it? No, it's like really good stuff. I don't know. But that's the whole thing. I don't care if you do. If you want to strip it and put the lube that you like to use on there, that's fine. And that's what I said. So if he's still mad at me about that, I don't understand it. Patty, I saw you posted a video, but I haven't had the chance to check it out yet. Still getting caught up, obviously. Plus, I have a ton of work to do from my trip, so I had hoped to get some editing done while I was out there, but I actually just did a lot of uploading of raw clips, so yeah. Yeah, that first ride after not being able to ride for several days feels good. It does. I was a little out of it on mine because I had to get up at about 2:30 to catch my flight out of Boston. I got an Airbnb right by the airport, and I literally just walked to the airport. But yeah, so I came home, napped with Edmund for a little bit, but then met up with Aaron and went for a ride. So I got a good ride in, but I was feeling tired. Yeah, Bubber said, convert an old steel bike to have a cheap one. I don't know what I have into my single speed, my Miata. It's light enough, but I wouldn't, it just depends on what your definition of light is. So, Hope Cyclery had a couple cross checks for what, $350 they just showed. So, Sing Kev Speed. I'm assuming that's a brand. Like I said, I am not the expert on that. The State 6061. One thing I've mentioned, I always mention when people say they want something cheap, look at used. If you could find something used in your size, especially if it's something you could check out in person, if you kind of know what you want. So, what's up, Dimitri? I had a good chunk of Terry's stream on today, but I was editing all those photos, so I didn't even open up the chat windows because I didn't want to get sidetracked. But that's what I had on while I was working all day. So I heard him chatting with you in there, and his new, whatever the phone app is that allows him to control a lot more when you were saying they didn't need you anymore. Single speed, find an old 26-inch frame. Everyone wants 29ers. Depends. I mean, 26 inches have gone up in value for a while, but it's probably peaked because people are doing all those vintage mountain bike restorations. Oh yeah, if you wax a chain, you definitely want to strip it, but that's part of the whole process. So, I think he was mad about not getting together for his birthday. Yeah, I've got to work, and it's for one. And the job I'm doing is for one of my best friends who has hooked me up with tens of thousands of dollars of work over the last few years. So. Yeah, David Kaiser, same thing. I've only heard to strip the grease before waxing it. So, yeah. Hedro, I have come and ridden around Syracuse, New York. We stayed there on the way to Nutmeg 2 years ago and loved it. We went to Mellow Velo, the bike shop. Yeah. Had brunch. It was awesome. So, yeah, I really liked Syracuse. Actually, the person I was staying with in Boston said they had spent just a little time in Syracuse and really digged it too. Digged it. Digged it. But yeah. That's cycling, Brian. That's what I've always heard. So Mark said the Surly Troll has good dropouts for single speed. Carl asked for a long-term bike pimp review. Aluminum single speed? Yeah, there's aluminum single speeds. I've definitely seen them. I'm not going to be able to name brands for them right off the top of my head. You could also, again, build your own, but any bike's a single speed if you don't put gears on it, as the kids say. But which is totally true.
So true.
It's so true. What's up, Garth? What's up, Anthony? Alloy SS is fine with a chain tensioner. So, yeah, what's up? Chris Webb said, got a used KHS Flight 100 single speed for your old bike. Plus, what you're going to already pay for a tune-up. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I've never ridden a fixed gear, and I just turned an old Miata road bike into a single speed. But mine's like a commuter, Technomic stem, so big high sweep bars and all that. So reasonably light, but not, just because it has nothing on it. But not an overall super lightweight bike. What's 8C in American? 8 degrees Celsius would be, I don't know. I can't do that. Someone told me how to do the math on one of the last streams, but I can't remember. Yeah, it's weird, Dimitri. I was supposed to be flying into Boston into a nor'easter. It never snowed. The city was pretty much shut down because they thought it was going to be so bad, and looking at the radar, I see why. But it must have snowed. What day did it snow here, Dave? Was it Friday or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, because even being 50 degrees today, there was still snow under the bridges, snow and ice when I was riding that I had to be careful of.
There's
So.
still snow in the shades.
Yeah,
Shaded
snow in
parts,
the
right?
shade. Yeah. It's been super cold at night. Last night must have been low 20s again. I could tell how cold it is in the morning by how often my furnace is kicking on. Like I could being next to that big radiator next to my bed, I could like literally be like, "Oh, it's really cold out because it feels so toasty in here." But oh, Racer, what's up? Said you've been in the same city for 20 years and you're burned out. You'll come around, but busy with other stuff too. Yeah, that was a little bit of what my last video was about. Funny, so funny to put out a video the same week that was probably also recorded a little bit in advance, just like Dustin Klein's was. The funny thing is we came up with opposite titles, but I think most of the points in our video were actually kind of the same. So, except for the filming stuff, because I film from the bike. I don't stop and set up shots. So. Oh, Fat Albert, you said your cross-check rusted out after 14 years of salty commutes and you threw it away. Huh. Do you not have an indoor place to wash your bikes? Dylan's in here. What's up, Dylan? A member for 36 months. So that means memberships have been available for 3 years right now. That's wild. Because Dylan was one of the first. Robert says 45 degrees and sunny in Detroit. Yeah, so we got about 5 degrees warmer. I would have ridden a little farther today, but I really need to I want to get a lot of the work done. Plus, it's also tax season. Now I got to get taxes done. Rick asked if Dylan did his overnighter, but that's aligned with the solar eclipse, which is until April. So it's cutting off these instead of putting them in 2 rows. Oh, that's weird. But it just makes it smaller instead of putting it in 2 rows. Oh, whatever. I'll fix that before next week, if I remember. I'll fix that 10 minutes before I start the stream next week. Kyle, anyways, he was saying not all chains are packed with the same lube. Oh, wait.
James Style super chatted $1.99. $1.99 from James Style. Love your videos.
Thanks, James Style. I don't know why it worded it like that. That was awesome. I appreciate it. Oh, anyway. Yeah, Kyle, you are right. I've never had a chain and I know some stuff is just more or less rust inhibitor on certain chains that when we were doing the research and all talking about that, I did see that. I've never had one that didn't have really good factory lube on it, and I don't, most of my chains have been SRAM, but not all of them. So, oh yeah, for Patty Redbeard, summer coming is not a good thing in Arizona. What's up, Joe? Said going out for an overnighter on Friday. Anyone got meal suggestions? I tend to do those overpriced camp meals. I have seen how people make their own stuff and do a lot of that, but if I'm going to be out away from restaurants and resupplies, I just tend to do the camp meals you get at REI or wherever. But they are overpriced and they are really salty. So I don't know. What's up? Van Beans, first timer. Well, welcome. This is what we do. We sit here and I try to talk about bike stuff like I know it. But then everyone in the chat knows more than me, so I just pull up their comments and repeat it. Except for the stuff I'm really opinionated on. like 2 buys. Farley, I haven't made any ride plans for the Eclipse. I know, like I was saying, Dylan has, but for me, it'll just depend on what's going on that day. I haven't even looked at what day of the week it is. It's a weekend, isn't it? I don't know. Everyone's talking about parties. Do you know what day of the week the Eclipse is? Do you know about the Eclipse?
You ever heard of an eclipse?
Do you know what an eclipse is?
No, I know it's a weekday because
Ah.
everybody's calling off work.
Oh, yeah, they're shutting down schools. They shut down Akron Public.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to make any plans because it's going to be cloudy. Everyone's doing all this shit. I was saying, like, Midwesterners, people like our Akron, Northeast Ohio, you'll hear all this stuff, like, negative about us and, like, have these negative attitudes, but the overwhelming positivity with every organization planning a party has blown my mind. These people are optimists through and through. There's no way it's not going to be cloudy. It's Northeast Ohio. What do they think?
Mario El Romo super chatted $5. $5 from Mario El Romo, thinking about doing a destination trail this summer. Thinking of the Mickelson NSD. Any thoughts on the trail?
It's like his voice changed, didn't it? But why is it like repeating that? I don't know. Anyways, it's just making it even funnier. But Mario, hopefully someone in the chat has some suggestions. I've watched videos on the trail, and I think it looks awesome. So from the videos I've watched, it seems highly recommended. But
Bushcraft and Fishing with the Pike, he subscribed to the channel.
interesting. I think that guy just went off on me for one of my videos in a comment section. Yep, that was my... Anyways. But I know nothing. John said you have the cross-check and the midnight special. I have a midnight special video eventually about Otis's bike that I rode for a lot of this winter, and I really liked it. But yeah. Chris Webb said any bike is a single speed if you never shift. Yeah, I've never ridden like a real track bike or like a fast single speed. So. Come on, focus here, bud. Trying to catch up here. Sorry, I'm just reading. Garth Gordon's got a couple bikes in Youngstown. Oh, geez. Oh, wait.
Rick Urbanovsky super chatted $4.99. $4.99 from Rick Urbanovsky. Wax on, wax off, wax off, wax off, wax off, wax off. Oh baby, wax off.
I feel like Stream Elements did do something to improve its the cadence, and it's cracking me up. But yeah, there you go. If anyone's by Youngstown, so Garth, the guy I was hanging out with in Boston is from Youngstown. Obviously doesn't live there now, but so I've spent a lot of time in Youngstown when he was the drummer of my band. 8C is 50 degrees. Oh yeah, so like it was today. Nice. And James, again, thanks. I'm gonna try and catch up. Yeah, taxes. My taxes are a pain. I finally hired an accountant this year. Yeah, SRAM chains have good lube from the factory. All the SRAM ones I have had good ones. So, by the way, I'm probably not going to go super late tonight because, as I mentioned, that I am not caught up on sleep from that 3 hours on Sunday night. So, and when I heard myself stutter there, I'm like, that is a total sleep deprivation stutter. Oh, you got the Edmund back?
What?
Does it look to you like that cat had a broken nose at one point? It's like, if you look at his profile, it's got a weird shape.
He's got like
Yeah.
a bump.
Yeah. Aaron said he got bopped into Beezer. Vans Beans, you bought a space horse. Oh, put your old components on. You said, should you use the parts from your old Kona to get it out on the road, or be patient and build it up new? Nah, put the old components on there. If you're not going to use the Kona anymore, and slowly you could change stuff over time. That's what so many of my friends do when they get a frame set that's replacing another one. Just swap the parts over. Dylan's an expert at that too. That's what a couple other people are saying. Hey, how's it going, Cassidy? Chris Webb suggested White Castle for the food. Rios, I'm totally pro 2x. I've always just, besides my single speed, everything I have is either 2 or 3. I've got a number of triples, but those are mostly vintage mountain bikes, vintagey mountain bikes. One road bike. The road bike on my trainer has a triple on it, 3x9 Shimano. So. Second Brad said, nor packaged meals from the grocery store. Some of them only need water. Huh. Everyone's asking the 2x opinions now. We actually started a thing of calling 1x's the Devil's Drivetrain because having a conversation with my buddy Kenny from Missing Falls, I said, what was it? If God wanted bikes to have one chain ring, he would have made them that way, or something like that. And he said, so you're calling my bike the Devil's Drivetrain? So yeah. The eclipse is on April 8th, so. Rio said, don't stare at the sun. The last time we had an eclipse, we didn't get totality here. It was just a partial solar eclipse. I took a picture of myself with these 3D glasses that were floating around the studio and said, I'm ready now. And some people on Facebook thought it was funny, and some people thought I was going to burn my retinas out. So I did not look at the sun with the 3D glasses on, for the record. I'm not Donald Trump. That was the best photo ever. I don't care if you even like them. I don't know how you would, but
yeah, no matter what.
No matter
your
what, that
opinions-
photo
Right.
was hilarious. Foil back of onions and peppers for the fire with a can of refried beans and a pack of tortillas. So I told you I'm tired. And a handful full of Taco Bell sauces. Oh, that sounds great, Mark. I want to done just like more simple overnighters, do some better cooking. A lot of times, like some of the ones we do traditionally, we already have plans to make stops though at places. So yeah, staring at the sun is not good for your eyes, and that will be on a Monday. So is it coming over you guys, Brian? I assume it would be, but when bushcraft comes full circle. That's how I felt about that comment. I got a comment from a guy named Bushcraft. I'm like, wow, they found us. John said, trail destination. Yourself and 2 friends did the Cocopelli Trail, self-supported. Fruta? Is that how you pronounce that? Fruta, Colorado to Moab, Utah. Pulling trailers, huh? Nice. Cox family asked about 4th of July this year, which is when me and my friends have always done a bike tour or bike camping trip. We're thinking about doing the Finger Lakes and mixing it with part of the Erie Canal Trail we haven't done yet. We're in very early stages of planning to see if it's going to be something, if a good route will work out. But Susan, who used to work at the studio, did a road tour of it. So we're going to see if we could so she sent me like the route she did. So we're going to see if we can kind of mix that in and do something. So Edmund was a bare knuckle boxer. Gar said Youngstown rocks. Superb music. Tidbit more gold than Ken in the underground music scene. I think right now that could be true. I feel like that, and there's always been good music there, but Youngstown, when I first started going there, the downtown was still pretty rough. There wasn't much. My friends wouldn't let my girlfriend walk to get smokes alone, I'll tell you that much. But I know it's changed a ton. So it was even changing when I was still going there a lot, when places started to open up besides Cedars, because Cedars was always a good spot, which now I don't think that exists anymore, right? go to the maps and discuss the best destination trails. What's up, Malk? How you doing? Kyle said you going to Philly Bike Expo. I've never gone to it. It's always timed up, I think, with Nutmeg, but I need to be home for a Halloween event I shoot every year, so I've never been able to go to the Philly Bike Expo. So it's always like, isn't it the week after Nutmeg usually? So see if I can catch up. The trumpet clip shot, so good. Yeah, Garth. Yeah, I've looked at riding into Youngstown a couple times and haven't done it. Like hitting up some of the restaurants and doing an overnighter, then out to one of the parks. We've done it to Warren, and you have the trail going north out of Warren, but I haven't made it to Youngstown yet to ride bikes, which is kind of surprising. Land Rover, his bracer said, has been making bikes since their beginning. Didn't know that. Brandon said you've been going back and forth on drive chain lube. Oh, you did WD-40. Yeah, that's not lube. That's water dispersal. I mean, I used to do that when I was younger too. But yeah, since I got back into cycling, I don't put WD-40 on the chain. I use WD-40 to clean stuff, especially in my winter bike. Water dispersal. But then you should re-lube after. But Triflow is my go-to, and then what's that one yellow bottle that I like?
Phil's?
No, it's not Phil's. It's a brand that you're supposed to be able. It's like a cleaner too, so you could use it right before you ride because you're supposed to lube your bike and let it kind of set a little bit, which I never do. I feel my chain right before I go out on a ride. Then I'm like, oh, I need lube on here. Moan Tech? Damone Tech. Yeah. That's the stuff I've been using more of lately, but I still use a lot of Triflow.
That's all you need is Triflow.
It smells like tiny nanners.
Just put it on more often.
Yeah. Yeah, I've tried. I've got a bunch of different stuff. I did waxing for a while. Once in a while, when samples come in the bike shop, since I'm good friends with the owner, he'll give me some stuff. There's a lot of good stuff out there, but wet lube is just the easiest. So, King Kong, shout out from Japan. What's up? It's a place I would love to ride someday. Jay Dandy said Boston Mills ski slopes for the Eclipse. There's a good chance I'll feel like working and I'll step outside my door and watch it and then go back to getting stuff done.
Yeah, isn't it like the middle of the day?
Yeah, I don't know. Are eclipses always at the same time?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'll learn a shitload about eclipses right before it happens. I don't know a lot about eclipses for a while till I forget it. It's my style. I'll tell you what, watching the Outdoor Boys, I'm getting a lot of good cooking on fire ideas. I just watched the new video last night. Or, was that last night? What day is it? Tuesday. That's the day I live stream. Yeah. Last night I was so tired, I ended up like getting in bed with the laptop thinking I'll knock out some photos, and then I just watched the Outdoor Boys latest video and went to sleep. So, what did he cook last time? Oh, chicken shish kebabs wrapped in bacon. Oh, Cycling Brian, you're an hour from totality. Nice, Kyle. Oh, 10 years after WD-40 has dried on it, yeah. Oh, Christopher, you're in Warren, Ohio. Nice. Yeah, we stopped at Modern Methods Brewing in Dave Grohl Alley. We got sandwiches from that little coffee shop around the corner, Coffee Shop Bakery. I can't remember. I didn't walk over there and walked over there. We ordered from the brewery. And then we took the trail up to Pymatuning, I think, on that trip. So, camped up there and rode back. It was I think that trip was 2 consecutive 110-mile days. So, Slow cyclist, you said you've been off the bike a couple weeks, wrecked and sprained your shoulder. Sorry to hear that. I was actually going to bring up my buddy Bob Darrow for a reason that was more related to something we were just talking about, and I forgot about it. He's also a channel member, but I ran into him yesterday on the trail, and he's starting to have sciatica problems, which is the worst, one of the worst. And yeah, I've started to feel really tight, so even on my trip not riding, and maybe that was part of it, but probably standing with heavy camera bags and lugging around lights all week, I started to feel that tenseness, so I really made sure to double down on all my stretching and stuff. Oh, Large said he just made a Y-Town Explore route last night. We'll have to check that out. Oh, Philly Bike Expo is March 16th and 17th this year. I saw people posting about it, and that confused the heck out of me why they were getting so hyped already. I'm like, it's almost a whole year off. So yeah, like Yellowbird Threadworks and stuff like that. Yeah, definitely not. Like I already said, I'm working on the 17th. So. Oh, Cedars has a new spot, 5 miles or so from the old spot. You were at Cedars, right, Dave?
Didn't we play a show there?
Yeah, I think we played our last show there. I don't think we ever played again after we played that Cedars
Really?
show. Yeah.
Huh.
I think that's the night that Pete said it's the cops' problem now.
Yeah, when he
We're in
he
the
said-
alley
when
behind
we
Cedars.
escaped out the back.
Yeah. We are story about Cedars. We kept me and so Dave was the drummer and Pete, our guitar player. We kept singer. We kept loading our gear out the back, but every time we like stepped out the back door and we still had a beer in our hand, the guy who worked there was getting really pissed. I mean, at first he was like, "You can't walk out here. You can't walk out here," and then everyone's kind of buzzed, and we kept doing it. And then I mean, this must have went on forever. And then, stepping out, talking to the other bands, people going out back and smoking, but all night. And then when we were getting ready to leave, Pete had a minivan. Dave was driving, and Pete was standing in the back of the van with the beer in his hand. And the guy came out the door and was like, about to yell at us again. And Pete just said, "It's the cops' problem now," and slammed the door, and Dave drove off. So it's one of the all-time great lines from a personal story, I felt. So, cops' problem now. And it's Youngstown, so we didn't get pulled over. 'Cause
Yeah.
cops don't worry about white kids driving around in Youngstown.
I'm probably just happy somebody was downtown.
Yeah. Rick said you live in Philly, so you'll probably go to the expo both days. Hey, what's up, Chris? How you doing? You said, been thinking about doing the 25er on Road Apple will be your first event. Any tips or thoughts for a noob? Yeah, if you're not going to go out super hard, obviously start a little more farther back in the pack. Just typical stuff like that. Really try and watch the road. Hopefully people point things out, but the beginning of Road Apple, there's a couple roads with usually some big potholes and just filled in with some gravel and stuff like that. But Road Apple's pretty chill for your first big organized event, and it's the first one that I've ever done, and it was for a couple years before I ever did anything else. So it's definitely I think it's a really good noob event to do, and it's technically not a race. So even though people go off the front and ride really hard, those people will be out of sight and out of your way pretty quickly. Trying to think if there's anything else you need to think. Download the GPX file. Either have a phone or a computer with the route on there. It is marked, but it's not closed. It's an open roads. So if you miss an arrow or you're getting tired, you definitely want navigation, in my opinion, for that ride. So. Everyone's suggesting the lubes, and Large Marge does have it. Where did he post that? In Just Chatting? And absolutely, yeah. The biggest bottle of Triflow I've ever seen.
That's nice.
Yeah, what do you charge for, can you give us discounts on refills now? Fat Albert said, Ohioans ever get down to Mohican? Yeah, Black Fork, we were down in that area, which is a gravel event. Like, kind of, I think it's Ohio's biggest gravel race now. And we had a cabin and we were supposed to ride Mohican the next day and it rained, so we never got to do it. So that'll be the plan for this year. So. Still pulsating? Yeah. You could probably switch it to, once it's focused, switch it to manual so it doesn't to be on the lens. Donald said, ride the Finger Lakes going west to see the suns cross the lakes. Ithaca and Niagara Falls are both worth it. Yeah, wouldn't be heading towards Niagara Falls. It would be more like Rochester, because we've done Buffalo to Rochester. So it'd be more like probably starting in Rochester, heading towards Syracuse, and then down towards Ithaca is kind of the plan. I've been to the Finger Lakes a number of times, and I brought my bike, but I've only ridden it a tiny little bit. That's why I think it'd be really interesting to see more of it from the bike. But yeah, so I'm pretty familiar with like Watkins Glen and the Ithaca areas. What's the one shaped like a Y? Kuka? So yeah, Kuka, Cayuga, Seneca. So yeah, been around, but yeah, good advice. What lights did I rent on my trip? They were Profoto B1Xs. Super nice. As they should be, because I looked up the retail and the two of them cost $4,000. So. Yeah, if anyone else, that's another good thing. And I've been thinking about making a video about this, just like how to ride your first bike event, and just some of the stuff that I think people should know, but I'm like being put on the spot right here, kind of like I don't do that well. Triflow, I put that shit on everything. Hey, what's up, Sam Diaz? Triflow supersize you. Mr. Daddy, what's up? You said use Chip Fat Best Lube. I'm not familiar with that one.
Chip fat.
Wait, what is it? Chip Fat, what did I say?
You said it right. There's just a comma missing there.
Ah. Oh, like Chip Fat is the best lube. It's not Chips Fat Best Lube. Fat Chips Best Lube. Oh, so that's what you're saying, that gearheads buy like giant things of Triflow for. They spray the whole bottom of their engine bay with Triflow for winter salt. Huh.
What? Who said that?
That's what Gar says. He lived in Youngstown. He's got to know.
It's true.
Rock solid logic. Hog's fat. Didn't GCN do a whole thing on, like, in a pinch, you just, if you're, I mean, of course they're in Europe, you just stop in a restaurant and get olive oil. Anything will work. I mean, kind of. I mean, even WD-40 works for a little bit, but that's not at all ideal. From your local fish and chip shop. Yeah, Rick, they were amazing. No cords was so cool. It said they got up to 300 flashes at full power. I was using them at about half and a quarter for the ratio, depending on the day, and I didn't run out of power. Thank God, because I really didn't have a backup plan if I did. Because I didn't get an extra battery for either of them. I mean, I charged them every night, obviously, and the one day on lunch, but... I'll have Rick, by the way, on the strobes. I got some good footage of them, and so my goal is to try and get my weekly photography video out for the other channel, and it would include a little bit of chatting about those, so I'm not sure yet. My goal is to get one video out for that channel every week by Wednesday at 3 o'clock, and I don't know, it'll be close. I have photo shoots tomorrow, so... Kyle Hoover said, you used to love T9 by BEO Shield, a.k.a. Boeing. Oh. Nothing like supporting the military-industrial complex. Well, I flew on 4 Boeing jets this week, so... And my 730 MAX didn't go down and the door didn't blow off, so that was good. I was like, of course I'm landing on like a troubled jet into a nor'easter, but... White lightning. Some of these prices are through the roof. Yeah, Road Apple is the best value and event you will do anywhere, especially now. Road Apple's like early registration, I think, is like $40. If someone remembers, tell me. I'm not gonna search my email right now, but it's like $40. You get chili, a beer, a T-shirt, the event. There's chip timing for the event, even though it's not a race. There's Strava segments. There's awards for the segments. It's like full after party. At the bar you can buy more beers. There's raffle tickets that go towards the. They usually pick something. I think it's like the local schools or local sports teams. So, yeah, you'll never do an event that's more of a value than Road Apple. It's one of the reasons I do it every year. I love it. So. David said, first advice for your first actual race: don't have COVID, and takes 3 times the amount of water. Huh. Settle in. Don't go out too fast. Adrenaline can be a nasty thing. These are like all great pieces of advice, and except for the COVID thing, like all things I ignore. But I take my 2 bottles. I never stop. I never refill them. I think at Black Fork I actually refilled my bottles, but that ride has over 6,000 feet of climbing. What is it, Edmund? Just come hang out. It's over there meowing. But yeah, that's good advice. And then adrenaline gets to me, and I do tend to ride fast and hard, and then just be hanging on to see if I can make it. So. Rick said on the 5 Borough ride, people would just jump in and out without paying. That's not surprising, though. I mean, a ride of all of New York where they closed the roads for it. So. Oh, Hog Dog, I know nothing about that. 900 Hawker Jet. This is again why we want to figure out a way for Dave to look up stuff and be able to pull it up while I'm chatting. But we haven't quite nailed that idea yet. Use Waxall? It protects everything. Your dad uses it under his Land Rover. Huh. Did Edmund just say abort? Yeah, he's telling me to get out of here. He's running around playing again after passing out on Dave's lap, then crawling onto mine. So. Oh, like you literally pulled a crashed jet, recovered it. Wow, that's wild. You need to show us some pictures of that. Oh, speaking of pictures. Oh. I thought someone dropped something about what we were talking about. Chain lube, let's talk about hop water instead. It's so, where was I that they had Athletic Brewing at one of the breweries I was at in Boston, but another one of the breweries, Night Shift, they had their own non-alcoholic beer. And then I was at a brand new brewery in Jamaica Plain, right where my friends were staying, that they had, their option was that they had made their own root beer, which I know some people love, and that's what my friend got. Said it was really, really good. And non-alcoholic, like not alcoholic root beer. Hemp lube? No idea. Dylan said hop water fucks. So like I said, I didn't actually find the brand, so I still want to try the actual brand of hop water. But Like, wait, I think that was me and Large's conclusion after the night of tasting all the non-alcoholic beers that we would try hop water again, but we wouldn't drink probably wouldn't drink non-alcoholic beers again. Christopher Webb. I mean, if my own personal bike ride just happens to be on the same route on the same day as a paid bike event, what can I do? Yeah. Sam Diaz said, how often do you pour hop water on your chain? Just when you're trying to drink it while you're mountain biking, you know? My key, the pie key, is all about the Cheech, no hangovers. Yeah. No hangovers, but man, I will say that I am super lethargic in the morning if I were to be smoking pot, which would be very unusual anymore. But I ate some edibles a couple weeks ago that I remembered I had. But I still, yeah, I'm super, like in the morning, I do not want to get out of bed. So, but yeah, they're not as bad as like if I got wasted or something. So. Cassidy, Bush NAs. I didn't try Bush NA, but if I didn't like the craft beer NAs, I'm going to guess I'm probably going to stick away from the cheap NAs too. But there's still some NAs here if anyone's, when we do our event in late March, you're welcome to them. Like I said, what I just drank was coconut water with kava while we were streaming tonight. Dave Keller uses the butter from his coffee on his chain. That's a good callback right there. Here comes the Edmund. I put butter in my oatmeal this morning because the Outdoor Boys guy was talking about it in his video. Do you eat oatmeal? Do you eat breakfast?
Not anymore. I've had some oatmeal in my day.
Hog dog, a weed over, yeah. Butter coffee. Do we have to keep going there? It's worse than talking about Brooks Saddles. Been back to smoking more. And versus alcohol, it does have its upsides. Yeah. I don't think you can compare like replacing alcohol with weed. Like alcohol makes you like go out and have fun, and weed makes me not want to ever talk to anybody when I'm out. Like they're just different. They're totally different things. I don't know, totally different vibes. So. I have chewed on a hop because I grew my own hops. When I had my house, I grew hops, and we wet hopped a red IPA, me and my girlfriend at the time. And I was thinking of, I have the fire escapes out back. I was actually thinking of how I could plant hops and train them up the side of the fire escape. They just grow like crazy, and they look really cool, and then I could donate them to somebody who was still home brewing, or maybe I could make my own hop water, Crumbled sausage in my oatmeal. I could believe that would be good. I eat vegetarian at home, though, so. Oh, nice, Garth. Yours grew 4 doors down. When I grew hops, I found that I could only grow the, like, German and Hardy varieties here in Ohio, like kind of old school hops. If I tried to grow, like, the more modern, like, really flavorful hops, like Citra, they just wouldn't grow around here. And Ohio used to be full of, like, people grew their own hops, farmers grew their own hops, but there's a lot of diseases that attack them here, and that's why all the hop production moved way out west, and now there's a ton in Australia, is right. Mushroom coffee. Butterface, am I right? Haven't done weed for about 20 years, just put you to sleep, but the dead sounded fantastic. Any recommended? Any Eduardo? You're asking if anyone recommends the Brook Swallow? Brook Swallow is a saddle if your handlebars are lower than your saddle. So, other than that, I would not recommend it. I have an earlier version of a Narrow Brooks, and it's on like a slammed road bike, and it's fine. But yeah. Ah, man, when people start recommending weed strains, that's too much for me. Farley said the same thing. Sativas make you more social. You just need the right way. I don't know. Well, it's legal in Ohio, and there's a dispensary next door. So once it's a medical dispensary now, if they ever change to a regular one, then maybe I would try some more kinds of things. But yeah, I don't know. Usually the people I'm around don't have. I don't know. Whatever. They probably say all this stuff, and I ignore it. Just like when people used to sit around and like look at the buds and talk about the hairs. It's like, man, I'm just trying to get fucked up.
This is medical?
It's medical, yeah. They opened before the law passed, so I assume they're going to apply for a recreational. Why wouldn't they? But that's why you're always happy. Rick said he knew a girl who could swallow a Brooks. Butter Chain sounds like a good bike shop name or a new dessert. Do I look tired? I'm not surprised. Me and Aaron stopped and got like a good sandwich on her. We rode out to Kent yesterday and got like some good sandwiches and had one beer. And she was giving me like a joking hard time about something, and I was like real slow to react. And I'm like, listen, babe, like slept for a rough 2.5 hours last night, and then was on airplanes, all day. So grits and syrup. Yeah, I've just been using honey and cinnamon in my oatmeal lately. But usually I just use bananas as the sweetener. But I'm just out right now because I just got back. But yeah, oatmeal with bananas and cinnamon is my normal morning with a cup and a half of coffee. So. Cheap bike build off? What do you mean, Racer? Should we have a competition? I'm always about building up some cheap bikes. It's pretty much my whole collection. Tuna boat time. Oh, I don't. It's 10:04. I'm thinking maybe skip tuna boat and just push through till a little after 10. But cheesy grits with shrimp. I don't think I can eat shrimp in the morning. Oh, Colby Cheese, you grow hops too? Yeah, if I did it here, I would buy it. I would buy it by Rhinestones because that's how I grew up before. Ours is pronounced rhizomes. Yeah, I haven't said that for a long time. But there's a homebrew shop not far from me that used to sell them, and I haven't looked at if they still do. They sold them so early that I'd have to keep them indoors in the dark for a while before I was able to take them outside. But anyone against legalized weed? Probably few and far between in this chat, I would guess. But yeah. Colby says, apparently if you sleep with a potpourri bag of hop cones under your pillow, it'll give you super vivid dreams. Huh. Never heard that, but have no reason to dispute it. No problem with legalizing weed. Rather have it being safe than from the streets. Yeah. I like it more for the idea that it's a waste of time to try and prosecute people for weed. You know what I mean? To have cops. Oh, I see what you're saying, Racer. Racer on the cheap bike build off. It's a hashtag on Instagram. I'll have to check that out. I could actually probably. Well, let's see. If I'm not logged in, I'm not going to deal with it. But if I am, I'll check it out. How could you not search tags on the mobile app? These are like my messages. Why is it? Oh, there we go. Where was that? Winner of cheap bike build off gets a Huffy. I hope that's true. It's just not letting me select. Oh, there it is. 337 posts. Is there someone running this competition? Like, what account is that we could see what it is? It's Instagram, so everyone could just be using a hashtag. Oh, damn. Just skipped all that. Mr. Natty said best porridge was that nutmeg. Unreal. What is porridge? I don't know if I've ever had porridge. Do you know what it is? I mean, I know it from, like, stories. Someone's eating porridge, like in some English cartoon.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't actually know what porridge is. I mean, I know it's a breakfast, like gruel. Yeah, David, you always have a cheap bike build going. Fenty weed? Yeah, I don't know. People, I'm not saying weed is never laced, but people generally don't lace weed. If people are going to give you more drugs, they're going to charge you for them. Colby said, I haven't tried the potpourri bag thing yet, but I read it in a homebrewing book, so it has to be true. If you sleep with a taco under your bed pillow, you'll have a wet dream. Christopher Webb said he's against legalized weed. What's the fun in that? Yeah, it's been legal in Colorado for a decade. Ohio for a couple months. If you sleep with Triflo under your pillow, you'll slip right into a deep sleep. Farley said road apples early weather indication low 50s. Yeah, it's too early. Well, we're 2 weeks out to really trust anything, but it'd be nice not to have any ice. That's what always ice is what I worry about road apple. I just want it to be dry no matter what the temperature is. Saw a cheap build a week ago. I could turn the GoPro around and you'll see a bunch of cheap builds. Yeah. It's almost time to ride one of my cheap builds. On St. Patrick's Day, I always ride my buddy Josh's bike. I always joke because it has a Chinelli stem that's the most expensive thing on it. Oh, wait, is that the one? Yeah. It's like an arrow stem, which is so funny. Like a super long arrow stem on that. Super cheap build. But
What kind of bike is it? What's the
Roger
frame?
Riviere. But he just sold his name to a bunch of bike brands, so I'm not sure which French brand actually made that. But it's a straight gauged, steel tube bike, sheet metal dropouts. But it's been fun. When I first built it up, it was like kind of my original gravel bike because I was able to get 38s on it. Put some top tube shifters on there, easy access. What's up, Richard from Anamia, Minnesota? Oh, so porridge is just English for oatmeal. That's interesting. Because porridge, it seems like it goes way back. Like oatmeal didn't become popular for people. It actually became popular in the city we live in. So Quaker Oats started here in Akron, if you don't know, because Schumacher Mills, a precursor to Quaker Oats, convinced the Union Army to buy oats during the Civil War, because before that only horses ate oats, but the troops started eating it, then they came home and they liked it, and then Schumacher Mills burned down, and then a bunch of new mills opened on Mill Street in Akron, and then those all caught fire and burned down, and when they rebuilt, they consolidated and used name Quaker Oats. Your history lesson for the day. And about 20 years, someone bought the old building and turned some of the old silos into hotel rooms. Then about 10 years ago, the university bought it and turned them into dorm rooms. So there's college kids living in old Quaker Oats silos in downtown Akron, believe it or not. Oh, Goldilocks had porridge, that's right. Mr. Nat, they fed it to you when you were a chimney sweep? Wheat porridge. Wheat everything, even chain lube hemp oil. Everyone's telling me it's oatmeal, yeah. I knew it was something that had to be something like that, but Hog Dog needs a cheap hardtail to give you something to break. If you're over here, I do have another. Nah, it doesn't have a suspension fork. I do have one more mountain bike that needs to be, vintage mountain bike that needs to be built. Thanks, Rick. Yeah. Yeah, I do like riding Josh's bike on St. Patrick's Day. I ride it other times, but not as much anymore. So.
Large said the Ace building is still smoking.
Oh, really? I rode by that for the first time. I was hoping to get a video up before the stream, but I didn't have time. So Christopher was saying, the way here, said growing in restaurants, porridge was a soupy kind of gruel. It's funny, I use that word too. Wheat, barley, and rice. Okay. Yeah, because oatmeal here is just oats. What is that cat doing? Come over here. Edmund's back here on the shelves, climbing around. Oh, yeah. How would I point to that? Come on, Edmund, come over here. You don't need to cry. Come here. Come over here. Come on. Why are you just looking at me? Come here. This is the content everybody needs. Me just talking to a cat in the distance. Everything in Akron is always catching on fire. What's up, Rigda? Yeah, that's what I was saying, what Dave said. So one of our old rubber factories burned down while I was in Boston. But, yeah, how many days ago was that? But the photos of it burning were insane, just like a towering inferno. They actually have the towpath shut down where it is. And I was talking to a dude, and I guess they're just worried about the wall collapsing if it happened to collapse towards the towpath, which it's not leaning that way, and it would mostly go in the canal, but I get it. I went around the barrier anyways. Sorry, Dave. Your maintenance, not law enforcement.
I ain't the cops.
Mr. Natty said, because of the shape inside, the body breaks down steel cut oats more slowly than rolled oats, reducing the spike in blood sugar and making the eater feel full longer. Huh. I do both. I've never noticed anything but being completely starving again after 2 hours. But I don't do instant oats at all anymore. I do right now I have regular rolled Quaker oats, but I have a friend who is a farmer and they do it all with horses and everything. Me and Large actually rode out to her house. It was in a video last fall, but I usually buy their oats, which are really nice because they're not dried as much and you actually have to keep them in the fridge. You could just tell they're just better. And those I think are steel cut. I don't think they're rolled. So, I'll have to think about that when I switch back, just because I haven't been able to get them. Haven't had the chance to get to the market to pick them up. Oh, Rick's got us a little Wikipedia definition here. So they didn't say that, but it sure sounds like it. Though all oatmeal is considered porridge, the term porridge does not always refer to oatmeal. Still, the two words are often used interchangeably, which can be confusing. Unlike porridge, oatmeal is... Oh, right. Farley, that's what I was just mentioning. So, no, they have the section just by Ace River to the bridge underneath the train bridge closed. And when I say closed, there's a barrier, there's a sawhorse on... Sawhorse, what do you call those things?
Barrier.
Barrier. But isn't there a word that's also horse in the name? It's not sawhorse because it's not for saws, but it's got like two triangle legs and they use it as a barrier.
I think sawhorse makes sense.
Yeah. I guess it's like a sawhorse, whatever. I mean, you work there. When you get one, when someone tells you to get one of those out, what do you call it?
The barricade?
Barricade? All right. Barricade. There's a barricade on the bridge side you can go right around, and then there's a line of caution tape on the other side that you can go right underneath. So, yeah. Oh, Rick's continuing on here with, unlike porridge, oatmeal is always made from rolled, ground, or flattened oats. Warner Brothers started in Youngstown. I actually didn't know that. Yeah, Goodyear started in Akron. Almost all the rubber companies did. B.F. Goodrich was actually the first rubber company in Akron. Come over here, bud. You don't have to just run around yelling. Yeah, Firestone, Goodyear, Goodrich, General Tire, Cooper Tires. And then there's a lot of the smaller companies like Ace, the one that just burned down. And let's see. There's more. That's the ones I could think of right now. I can't remember what this is. Goldilocks. I kissed her at the back of the bike shed. Yeah, I found it sure seems like with weed, like people that I know who regularly smoke it were already acting like it was legal before it was. So, where is that cat? Oh, you're going through that weird thing I found in the factory. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but Edmund is really talkative tonight. Porridge, let's talk about pudding. We're not getting into this. Rick's a steel cut guy. I usually just keep the Quaker stuff as backup for when I'm out of the good stuff, but yeah.
Well, he is on something.
Yeah, he is crazy. Did he get into the catnip? Yeah, feeling hungry after a couple hours of oatmeal. Someone called it the Great Deceiver. What's his name? Is it Follow Thomas? Follow Thomas, the YouTube channel. He's a Florida cyclist who does lots of tours, solo tours. If you haven't checked out his channel, give it a Google. There's some good videos on there. But I think he makes overnight oats on his camping trips, so bike packing trips. Marbled rye flake. Never tried that. McKinley, what about walking about bikes? What is walking about bikes? Is that a channel? Rigda said your biggest regret is never seeing the Rubber Bowl. Yeah, we missed it that time. You guys were down. It got so cold, and then we had, 3 flat tires between us? Yeah, so, yeah, each progressive thing in oats takes longer to cook, but it's not, super long. And it just depends on how cooked you want them. So, but yeah, the only instant oatmeal, the only thing it is chopped up smaller, so it cooks faster. Oh yeah, Akron, not to mention Devo for sure, and the Pretenders. Even though the Pretenders really started in London, Chrissy Hines from Akron. So McKinley said, you're trying out slick tires that are wide on trails and wonder if anyone else rides single track on slicks. Yeah, Otis, shop owner at Dirty River, who I get most of my stuff from, really likes them. Like a lot of, Jan Hines says that, you know, gravel slips on gravel and dirt slips on dirt. I think if it's dry, a lot of times it's fine. Depends on, I mean, how aggressive you're getting. But, you know, around here, like mountain bike trails and all that, you're not allowed to ride if they're wet anyways. So, and I've ridden, what was it? There were slick tires on the Salsa War, was it the Warbird or the War Road I had? I don't know, but they were fat slicks and they were fine on the gravel. So, I like reading these fun facts about oatmeal in the voice of that little kid in Jerry Maguire. Haven't seen Jerry Maguire, but I bet that's funny. Tim's a helicopter parent. I am. I'm watching Edmund right now. Does steel cut make it more real? What if the blade is aluminum? Yeah, give me some of those carbon rolled oats. I love this cereal talk. I love breakfast. Like, I can eat breakfast whenever. I'm one of those guys. I've never done overnight oats. I've never done cold oats. I eat my oats hot. If you eat eggs with oatmeal. Yeah, if you eat a full breakfast with just a side of oatmeal, you won't be as hungry. If you have some toast, some bacon. Bubbers, yeah. I pretty much do oatmeal every morning, so definitely have done it before bike events. Joe Walsh? Oh, yeah, Joe Walsh. Yeah. Best breakfast, a ciggy and a strong tea while pooping in the bushes. Chia seeds soaked in yogurt overnight. Yeah, we're definitely at the point where everyone's tuning out, huh? As us OGs start talking about another random topic. Rolled oats for cookies, though. So, what am I getting this notification for? Oh, weird. I could just flip it to show me everybody who spent money tonight, which I guess is a good feature if it was been a lot, and you could go back if you want to thank everybody. So, do you think I could do it? Think I could say goodbye right now at an earlier time before someone says something that I really want to talk about? Never happens. As soon as I start trying to end it, someone asks me this question. But anyways, yeah, I think, like I said, gonna wrap it up because I am just super tired tonight. I'm going to do another video kind of in the same theme as the last one, I think, for the next video. Since I skipped Monday, I'll put it out on Thursday, then get back on the Monday schedule for videos, hopefully starting next week. But, yeah. What's my favorite breakfast beer? 90 suckers still watching. Breakfast for the win. So, yeah, and as of right now, there's nothing to stop any of the Tuesday live streams, but I'll keep everyone posted on that as always. So, yeah, I appreciate everyone as always for joining. And that'll do it. Peace.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
this time.
Fitzwater photo.